What is Italy? Is it a country of wonders? Is it a country of only pizza? Or it's a country where people go to just get married in? Let's see some Italy through my lens. Let's get started. And there you go. That's the lake. Pretty, right? But is it pretty enough for certain Bollywood actors to tie the knot here? Well, different question, different time. But हाँ हमारा जगह पे उतना बुरा नहीं है यार. वैसे भी coming back, this Lake Como they call it, it's from the Ice Age. It's almost 10,000 years old. So let's see how we reached Lake Como. So Funicolare, I think this is the place where you get the ropeway from. I call it the step train, and no points for guessing why. And after this pretty Duomo from Como, Duomo is church, and a sumptuous lunch, I'll take you to Milan. Let's see the fashion capital. From Milan station, it was a good 20 minutes walk to reach the Duomo. I passed by some pretty nice eateries, and there were some nice shops, expensive shops around, and finally the Duomo, the church for Milan, was worth it. This feels epic. Right next to it is the Galleria, which is kind of a mall which has all the expensive shops. And anyone who's a fashion buff shouldn't miss this place, ideally. With that music and some elderly dance and some pizza, of course, from Santorini, I called it an evening, and yeah, that was it. The new day started in the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Of course, it's one of the seven wonders in the world, and on an extremely hot day, probably not so pleasant. But yeah, one shouldn't miss this. This, what you're seeing in the screen, is, as mentioned, it's Pisa's Cathedral Square. It has main three structures, and getting into a little bit technical informations about this Leaning Tower of Pisa, it has a 4-degree lean, and it was because of a wrong foundation. So sometimes faults are not that bad because it can create a world record later. From this eccentric monument to the beautiful Venice, the road was pretty hydro-focused. Please excuse the pun. So finally, Venice. It's known as the city of canals. It's known as this floating city. It's on the northeastern side, as you can see, of Italy, and also it's famous for its gondola rides. I think the architecture and this is extremely mesmerizing, and you should come here to visit this city to experience this once. The roads are extremely narrow and you can only walk in them. So because of this, you get a very distinguished feeling when you are going through the heart of this city, through the roads. This will stay with you forever. From the narrow roads, gondolas, astronomical clock, under construction Duomo, the tower, bell tower, amazing Picturesque Burano with iconic Rialto Bridge, everything together makes Venice one of the most important cities to visit in Italy. What I have learned from the trip is that you will definitely be coming back with some memorable pictures to cherish forever.